Welcome to the show. Vintage vinyl, easy like Sunday morning, live from Dennis's house. You can hear what's in the background. That's the most identifiable song of all time. Of course, it's Aqualung. Hold that up.
All right, I'll hold it up.
In the camera there. Aqualung by Jethro Tull. One of the most classic albums of all time. And my guest today is Dan Sullivan. Say hello, Dan.
Hi. Why am I a guest again?
You're supposed to say hello, Dan.
Oh.
So, yes, Dan and I work together. That my only job is not as a talk show host. I actually have an actual job, but I'm not going to say what or where it is.
Because then the fans would come and kind of fill up the place.
Or we might badmouth the job so much today that we'll end up getting fired. So we have to be incognito about this. And, well, we have another guy that we work with who was supposed to come on the show today, Mike DeGennaro, but
not to
he
name names.
Bailed out. His initials are Mike DeGennaro, and his address and his credit card number I'll post later. But he bailed today, and you know why? He gave me the reason before. He has a long-standing bikini wax appointment for today. So
the Brazilian wax.
Yes, so he couldn't make it. So Dan is a guest because he is an anomaly. He is the only man I've ever met whose favorite band is Jethro Tull. Not that anything wrong with that. I love Jethro Tull, but I never met anyone who said that was his favorite band. So Dan brought all his records. Pull them out. Let's get right into it. He has the full collection.
Minus this was.
Oh yes, we found out yesterday there was actually album, the first album released by Jethro Tull that Dan doesn't have, so he's gonna have to go on eBay. And
gonna have to go get that.
So let's pull out the big one first.
What's the
Stand Up?
Oh, Stand Up. Here we go.
Yeah, we'll listen to Jethro Tull in the background.
This is when albums were awesome.
Yeah, look at that. Show that in the camera
ready?
so they can see it.
Ready for that?
Bam.
Oh wait, let's turn around.
Look at that.
Bam.
The full band pops out.
Stand up. You gotta love that.
Can't get that with an MP3.
No, you cannot.
So, yeah, and he's got them all in order, so we'll show them one at a time.
Okay.
This is Benefit. A lot of good stuff going on there. And what's the next one?
Passion Play.
Passion Play. Also good.
We're gonna go through all these?
Yeah, we're gonna look at them all.
War Child.
War Child.
Thick as a brick.
Now this one, we gotta discuss Thick as a Brick. See, this is the one. He's got nice and plastic, but Thick as a Brick, it has one song on it, which just continues on the second side. It's
it's one big long song.
20 minutes each or whatever, and it has like a newspaper in here, the original newspaper. That's good. That could be worth something.
Oh yeah.
I sell that on eBay later.
Minstrel in the Gallery.
Oh, that's a good one too.
Yep.
Yeah.
Too old to rock and roll, too young to die.
Dan said this reminds him of me.
Yep, this is him. Yep. It's Dennis.
Never too old to rock and roll.
Songs from the Wood, another classic album.
And I'm thinking we're starting to get into dangerous territory now. This is when Jethro started going downhill.
Starts dropping off a little bit.
Yeah.
What, Heavy Horses?
I don't know.
Not good?
That's where I stopped at Songs from the Wood. I don't even own
we can pretty much stop now. I think all the rest of these albums, really none of them are all that great.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of them.
Yep.
He did put out a lot of albums.
And this was the pinnacle of his career, I will have to say, Aqualung. Everybody knows this song. I defy someone to say they don't like Aqualung. It's, I'm going on record as saying it could be one of the most classic albums of all time, one of the best albums ever recorded, top 100, I'd have to say, definitely.
Yeah, because everyone always goes, oh yeah, Aqualung, snot running down his nose.
Yeah, and if you do this, everyone will name that tune. So try that right now. Everyone do it to the person next to him and see if they can name that tune. So, yes, the picture actually was taken by his wife of a homeless man, actually.
Really?
Yes. And they commissioned this painting to be done by a famous artist. And this painting is actually owned. Imagine having that original painting.
I would.
That would be art. That and like the back one they were saying. It's owned by one family. They stole it. Someone stole it out of a hotel room or something. Nice. The original painting, and now it's there.
It's theirs.
So, little known facts about the band. You know that Jethro Tull is not the name of the lead singer?
Yes, right. That's their claim to fame in that movie Armageddon. That's what the thing that bothers Owen Wilson. is that Jethro Tull is not a member of the band.
Yes, Ian Anderson is the lead singer and the flautist.
That's
Did
right.
you know that a flute player is called a flautist?
Yes, I did know that. He finally got that good, put that to use.
Yes.
Like, what other use could you possibly have that for?
Where's this album? Living in the Past. This is always the picture and the way you think of Jethro Tull, standing there on one leg.
One leg. He does that in
flute.
concert all the time.
Yeah, and he's I don't know, this was like a crazy looking band. Like, look at this picture here.
Where's the guy with the woman?
This one right here. This picture used to scare me. I would when I was like 5 years old, I would look at this and this, wow, these guys look scary looking. But and this music always reminds me of like the 16th century in England, or like going to Renaissance fairs and stuff like that.
That's true.
This album's messing up, Dan. I noticed when Dan brought the album, he had it in plastic and everything, but he's got grubby peanut butter fingerprints all over it.
Aqualung was not in plastic. That is untrue.
Oh, there you go. That's the reason. And yeah, pretty much every song on here.
Locomotive Breath and My God are.
There we go. That is Cross-Eyed Mary, another good song. Every song on here is good. So let's talk a little bit about what we do at work while we're listening to this in the background.
What do we do at work?
That we do. We have a lot of fun and joke.
It's terrible.
Yeah, no, this album is like, I'll keep it there. We have a lot of fun and we joke and we talk about business ideas that we're going to start and stuff. So, let's talk. Let me stop this for now. But one of our business ideas, I think my best idea ever was we're going to start a business called Seeing Eye Midgets.
I think that's the best idea.
Exactly.
Totally agree.
And this one's easy. We can bring it to fruition. And I don't know if we're allowed to say midgets. Is that offensive nowadays?
Yeah, Seeing Eye little people.
Yeah, it doesn't sound as good.
No, it doesn't.
I don't understand why a midget would get upset about being called a midget. It's just, for a million years, everyone was called a midget. And, there was no problem. Then all of a sudden, oh, no, I don't like midget. Well, sorry. It's like when they tried to change the planet name from Uranus to Uranus.
Right. It just doesn't work.
Nobody accepted it, and they said...
Because you need that joke.
Exactly, because that's the funniest thing. Because since I was 5 years old, I've, on average, used a Uranus joke at least once a week, and it's been funny every single time. So
can't lose with a Uranus joke.
You can't go wrong with a Uranus joke. So, but I digress. Where were we? Oh, Seeing Eye Midgets. Actually, some of my best friends are midgets, so I don't think they have a problem with that. I actually don't know any midgets. But I would like a midget friend. So if anyone knows a midget, or if any midget's watching, contact me. And
we might have
we'll
a job
hang
for
out. Yes. And anyway, the business plan is, and this is a legitimate plan.
Yeah, I think so.
That blind people need help. They have the dog, but the dog can just do so much. But just, can you imagine the possibilities if it's a midget instead of that? So you're walking along with the dog. Just recently in New York City, a dog and the guy fell on the tracks.
That's right.
A midget would have never let that happen. He would have said, "Yo, buddy, back off. You're near the edge of the track." And the midget can answer the phone. The midget can do all sorts of things that a dog cannot do. So
I told you it was a TV show that they had called Blindsided, where some blind woman was being stalked by somebody. There was a midget? That wouldn't happen. Exactly. You can give a midget a gun.
Exactly. A midget bodyguard. Seeing Eye midget bodyguard.
There you go. See, it's getting better.
A ninja midget.
All right, now you took it too far.
See, and that also happens at work, too. We have great ideas like this, and then we never bring them to fruition.
No.
But we always go too far, and then we have to go back to our desks. Or the lady in the next row yells at us, something like that.
We have to go back and do work.
Yeah, so we sit in cubes and we die a little every day.
Yes.
So this
Cube
is
form.
the only bright spot of the day is when we talk our nonsense, because it makes me think of Office Space. That since I started working, every day you see me is on the worst day of my life. It's every day is worse than the day before it. So every day you see me is the worst day of my life.
This is true.
So, Anyway, if anyone wants to invest in our idea, let us know. Another idea we had was what it was in the news a lot about wives chopping off their husband's body parts.
Oh yes.
So we thought about having instead of a blood bank, it would be a body part bank. So you'd like cloning. You could do cloning. So whatever part you think may get chopped off, you come to us. We'll clone it and we'll store it for you.
That's
and
right.
Then if your wife ever chops it off and throws it, and the dog eats it, you can get it back.
You get one back.
So. If anyone wants to invest,
we have no skills for
any
any of these ideas.
Yes. That one seems a little hard to pull off. I think
it does. We need some sort of breakthrough in science, but other than that,
we'd have
the idea is a good idea.
We'd have to get a book on cloning. I think first. That would be
cloning
the
for
move.
dummies.
So. Jethro Tull actually existed. That there was a guy in England in the 17th century, a guy in England who was a pioneer in the agricultural field. He invented a different kind of wagon or something like that. Yeah, so that's how they got the name.
That's where they stole it from?
Yeah. So hold on, let's play a little more of this.
I'm gonna take a drink from the right-handed cup. See,
yes.
People, left-handed world. See, this is. You got the cup, but you see, it's a right-handed world. Really, I'm left-handed, so it's hard to drink this way.
And it's you bang into me. That's why I believe the nuns had it right. When a kid is left-handed, they should whip him.
Just beat him out of it?
Yes, until he gets over it.
No.
Because, it's a hardship on everyone else. So I think it's very...
it's a hardship on everyone else. Those left-handed people.
So it's kind of like a concept album that they have. On one side, it's called Aqualung. On the second side, it's called My God. So it's a lot of religious, symbolism and stuff going on here. But Ian Anderson denies that this is a concept album. He says, that's a lot of rubbish, governor. that was my English British accent.
Got to throw the governor in.
You can't do a British accent without saying governor. Hello, governor. See, if you say cheerio and governor, then you're British. Otherwise, you don't have any idea what you're
There
doing.
actually is a song on Songs for the Wood called Cheerio.
Really?
Yep.
I gotta see what's going on here.
I'm sure it's because of the crappy album. Come on.
Can't be that bad shape.
Could be. It's been sitting in a box for how many years?
I should have brought my album.
Yeah.
In good shape. Oh man. There we go. That'll get better.
See, this is... Yeah, I wish it would get better, because this is the flute solo. You know, there's always like a guitar solo. This is a flute solo.
Have you ever seen Jethro Tull in concert?
Yes, I have.
Many times? Or?
I have seen... Well, I guess it's... Yeah, I've seen Jethro Tull a couple times, and Ian Anderson as well.
You saw him solo?
He...
Wow.
I guess, like, more recently I've seen him.
Oh, wow.
Solo.
Because I've seen Jethro Tull once, but it was in a bad period. It was in, the 80s.
Right.
And he was on this kick. He wanted to play all the stuff from his new album.
He does that a lot.
I actually fell asleep during this concert.
Yeah. And he's over there playing his flute, lifting his leg, and doing junk like that. Like, who cares? Stop. Play the old stuff.
I was so incensed. I was sitting there. It's the first time I ever saw him, and these artists have to understand that. I haven't been going to the concert since 1968 and see every tour and every show. I understand you get a little bored, but too bad. I only saw you one time in my life, and now I have a bad taste in my mouth because I sat there not knowing any of these songs. I fell asleep. I woke up at the encore to hear Aqualung. Then I woke up, and that was it. And then the show was over. And I paid my $17 for that at the Fillmore East. And did you know that back in the 60s, a ticket cost 5 cents to see, and you got 5 bands: Jimi Hendrix, Janis Joplin, Grateful Dead, The Who, and Led Zeppelin, all for 5 cents. Plus, you got a free hot dog, root beer, and a hit of acid. That was
that's a deal.
That was deals. Now it's like $4,000 to see Justin Bieber
just for the acid
on the big screen. So
you would think Jethro Tull, with all the songs they have, he should be able to do a concert without...
Yeah, exactly.
Without, and play some of his new stuff. But
what does he do now? When you saw him last, does he do all the hits? Or
he does some hits, but he does a lot of his obscure crap.
Yeah, well,
which is annoying. I totally agree with that.
And did you know that Ian Anderson was actually one of the biggest salmon farm owners in the UK?
Yep.
And yeah, it was like a billion-dollar business,
Yeah.
and then something during the recession or whatever, it crashed.
It
He
crashed.
sold out, and
Yep.
before he lost everything.
But he was a big salmon farmer.
Yeah, who would have known?
Didn't know salmon grew in dirt.
So I'm gonna go down here and see what's going on, Dan. This whole album can't be messed up like this for an album review.
It's really depressing.
Yes.
I guess we should have done a little bit more practice with it.
How can a whole album be bad? Go down and get my album.
We have other albums to choose from.
Now, let me check the needle. No, because we're doing Aqualung as
Oh,
our review.
really?
So, yes, because as a review, I should say everyone should own this album. If you don't own it, you got to go out and get it. Look inside. There's another. Looks like the Last Supper in there. After they all got drunk and got crazy.
It's the drunken supper, the drunken Last Supper.
But it's pretty much every song on here is good.
Absolutely.
Yep.
It's one of the better albums.
And you know, just to be surprised, I love Jethro Tull. They have so many good songs, and you know, they get a lot of bad heat. I think it's because of the flute. People have a hard time
with that.
digesting the flute. But you know, he actually took up the flute because he started as a guitar player. But, you know, it was too hard, and he didn't want to practice as much, and he said, I'm never going to be as good as Eric Clapton, so let me try something else. And he picked up the flute, and, you know, the rest is history. That's what stands him out. If he didn't play the flute,
Sure.
Jethro Tull would just have been another band faded into the background there.
A lot of their music
So-
sounds like jazz. Like a lot of their jazz music, like a lot of their music sounds like, you know, except, you know, without the harmonica, you have a flute.
Yeah.
So it's hard to play that anywhere else. Like I said, you need some 14-year-old who plays the flute.
Yeah,
Because
to
nobody
have
plays the flute after high school, right?
Let's see that. I think I found the culprit. There was a piece of fuzz on the needle.
Oh,
from your,
no.
I hope your albums didn't affect my whole system here.
Maybe I had a clump of peanut butter on there.
Yeah. So I wanted to, one thing that I found very interesting about you that I would like to discuss on the show here is
Me.
your childhood.
Or lack thereof.
That Dan, like you have like one of 17 kids and the rest are all girls, I believe.
I have 6 sisters.
Oh my God. And you had one bathroom, right?
One bathroom.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you pretty much went outside.
Yeah, pretty much. It sucked. Totally sucked.
And it was like a 2-bedroom house. All the
It
girls
wasn't
in
too
one
bad.
room.
It wasn't too bad. I mean, I did always get my own room. I think I was the only plus side of the whole
Yeah,
thing.
that's it.
But other than that, no, yeah, it kind of was terrible.
Yeah.
And I was in the middle, so there was like 4 older, 2 younger. So.
Wow. And then your parents. Oh, can we discuss why first? Your parents ended up buying a campground, right? Resort up in Sullivan County. Was Sullivan County named after you?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, so it was a coincidence?
Just a coincidence.
Oh, okay.
But it was in Sullivan County, New York.
So you had this big campground up there. It was like a Dirty Dancing kind of thing?
Yeah, pretty much. It was sort of like it wasn't a campground until my father decided to make it into a campground. And
What was it
that's where
before
the
that?
hell began.
What was it before
More
that?
of like a Dirty Dancing kind of.
Oh, okay. So
That's where the hell began. Because we had to mow the lawn.
yes, I know. I always
rake
hear the story. It was like
lawn.
acres and acres, and
Yep.
there was no tractor. You were the only boy.
Push
You had
mower.
to mow acres of lawn
Oh, it
with
was terrible.
a push mower,
And
you
then
had
rake
to,
it.
Oh.
Insulted to injury. Oh, after you mow it, rake the grass.
So while I was sitting back in Queens, relaxing in the
Yes.
summers, playing stickball, you were upstate mowing the lawn.
Yeah, on a mountainside mowing the lawn.
Damn.
The best story that we have with my sisters and I, we laugh about is my father built a road and he put down a whole bunch of like stone, but I guess it was bigger stone, so our job was to break it into smaller pieces.
Oh my God! It's like being on the chain gang.
Yep, exactly. So we'd sit there hitting it with a hammer, breaking the rocks into smaller pieces.
Oh, brother. And then can we discuss why your father decided to get out of the business? He was in some other business,
My
right?
father was a truck driver
Right,
in
and can
Staten
we-
Island for a long time. He always wanted to own a campground. We always went camping.
But didn't you say that there was...
Oh, he got abducted. Yeah, he
Yes.
later on he drove. Used to deliver cigarettes, and they grabbed him, stole his truck, tied him up, threw him in like some old building or something like that, and left him.
Wow.
And somebody found him, so that was a good
Wow.
news.
See, there's probably the.
But I don't think he drove anymore after that.
Yeah, that's right. I would have dragged my kids upstate too after that.
I think I pretty much changed his whole perception.
And I think that was in Goodfellas, wasn't it? That was the story
Might
of
have
Goodfellas.
been.
Yes, because
Might have
that
been.
was right before the Lufthansa heist. They used to rob cigarettes all the time.
That's
and
right.
They would abduct the drivers and stuff. Usually they would just let them go. But I guess on this occasion,
They tied him up, left him there.
Wow.
They're worth a lot of money, those trucks.
yeah, I bet.
Full of cigarettes.
Absolutely. So,
Here
what
comes the
other?
flute solo.
Yeah, listen to that.
Here it is.
I love that when he's breathing too.
That's so funny.
I could see him slobbering all over the front row.
Spitting all over the place.
So, any other good campfire stories or anything up there that?
Yeah, they all suck.
What, didn't you have like a bar up there too?
We had a bar. No one ever went to it, though. We had a bar. Wasn't much. It was like I said. It was like one. It was the Fairmont Hotel or something like that was there, burnt down, and then they built this place on top of it.
And now, what is it now? Because your parents don't own it. You don't.
Oh,
own it
I drove
anymore.
up there one day. My daughter had a soccer game in upstate New York, so I drove past it. Oh, it's completely dilapidated. There's like a guy living in the house, and the rest of it is all completely destroyed.
And then you went on to check it out, and some old guy with a shotgun came running out.
Chasing me down.
Get off my land!
This is my land first.
Are you the tax revenuer? So that
Yeah,
very
that's,
exciting, Dan. I feel.
Oh, yeah.
I feel your pain.
Feel- yeah,
that,
thanks.
You had to endure such abuse, if you will.
Yes.
And kids today, you know,
No,
you
those
say
kids
that to your
today,
kids all the
oh,
time,
yeah.
though. At
They
least-
don't know the
Yeah.
hardships.
Exactly. You had to go through a lot of grief there. So something I find very interesting in the news, though, is the captain and Tennille have filed for divorce.
Oh,
Or did
they're
you hear
still
about
married?
this? Yes, they're both still alive.
I was gonna say still alive and still married.
Yeah,
Does he still wear the hat?
absolutely. He still wears the hat. They're
Still
both
wears the
like
hat?
70 years old. They've been married for 39 years.
Why
So-
do they even waste their time getting divorced now?
Exactly. Like, what are they going to do now? They're going to... I can't even imagine that. Just, if you stay married for 39 years and you're 70, just live it
just
out.
keep going now,
you're
yeah.
gonna probably die soon anyway. So,
Exactly.
so what is your favorite Captain and Tennille song, by the way?
Oh, I don't know. I don't remember. What was
Oh, I tell you mine, no question. Muskrat Love.
I was just gonna say Muskrat Love. I think it was those guys, right?
Yeah.
I just picture her standing there by the piano and him in that stupid hat.
Yeah, they were a big part of your childhood up in the campground, I bet. Didn't they perform there one time?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe.
So what else? Did you know that Ian Anderson, he is married with 2 kids, and one of his daughter is actually married to the actor on The Walking Dead, Andrew Lincoln.
Really?
The sheriff, the head guy on Walking Dead. So I find that very interesting.
There you go.
Because we talk a lot about zombies at work too.
Oh, that's
because
true.
I'm
Zombie
full prepared. I'm prepared, and I firmly believe there's going to be a zombie apocalypse. So if anyone needs shelter, don't come here because I'll shoot you on sight. Because not only I am hoping for the zombie apocalypse, I can't wait for it. That, like I said, first thing I'm gonna do, instead of shooting the zombies, I'm going out and shooting everyone who's wronged me in this world. So here's the list right here. You better hope your name ain't on here.
Go out
Your
there.
name's not on there, Dan.
All right.
so
Oh, cool. All right.
I hope this doesn't get forwarded to like Homeland Security.
Yeah, right.
Can I get in trouble for like terroristic threats for
Yeah,
that?
you basically said you were gonna kill a whole bunch of people.
But as long as you don't name names, then it's all right.
Yeah.
So, I also see on Facebook the new thing going around is everyone is sharing this post saying they're gonna pay it forward. That
I've seen that too.
Right, if you post this, then I'm gonna do 5 things for you for the coming year. Then you share it, and then we'll all do 5 things for everybody. But who is monitoring this? I want to know, because I demand December 31st an accounting of who was supposed to do what.
Did they
and
do
if
their
they
5
actually
things?
did it. And if they didn't, then there's going to be hell to pay.
Some of these people are like, "Oh, I'm gonna make you something, or I'm gonna do." Maybe I don't want the crap you're making me. Pay somebody else forward. Don't be paying me forward.
Yeah, Dan, this was a lot of dust on this album here.
I
I'm
said,
very disappointed in the.
they're stored in a box.
in the-
I didn't actually. I should have cleaned it first.
Yes. So
Poor planning on my part.
well, let's see what else we got here? We got to go out on a... You see how much time went past already? My
What?
God,
We're done
talking
already?
nonsense. But no, we just wrap it up. Yes, I would like to promote the show now, though. I think I've gotten through all the technical difficulties.
Yeah, you can't even say
I
that.
got the new mic. I got everything down now. So now I want to start promoting it. So I actually got some business cards here. I'll give you one here. I'll give you a couple. You can hand out to your friends. And, you know, people start telling everybody about it because, you know, everyone thinks, oh, Dennis is crazy. He's doing a silly little show. But... you know, this show is better than a lot of shows. I'll name names, Dan.
Name names.
You can name me a show, and I'll tell you whether it's better or not.
Duck
talk show.
Dynasty. Oh, no.
Talk show, not a reality show.
Not a reality show, because I hate all those.
Yeah.
So you're better than all those.
David Letterman.
David Letterman.
My show is better than his show now. And when he first started, he was great, and now he's just old and angry, and he's divisive. You know, he says, you got to follow this political agenda, or I don't like you. Name someone else.
What about Fallon?
His show is better than mine. The only one.
The only one?
His show is very entertaining. He's not, you know, angry. He's young. He's fresh. He plays music. He's got the roots on his band, so that's a good show. His show is better than mine. That's it.
What about what's his name? The guy from
Conan O'Brien.
He's
Nope,
terrible.
it's boring. Not funny at all. No record. No music and stuff. This show is the only one that has a record review, comedy, all this
True.
kind of stuff on there, and we're not
What about
divisive.
Kimmel? That's the guy I'm thinking
No,
of.
I like my
You don't
show
like
better
Kimmel?
than Kimmel.
Kimmel's pretty
Kimmel's
good.
all right, but I'm better.
Well, the better part about yours is it's not on at 11:30 at night.
Exactly. So you know,
That's what makes it so much
This
better.
is on Sunday morning. So,
Sunday
and
morning.
I vow to get this out now every Sunday morning by 9 a.m. The show's going to be out there. And next week I'm gonna have I have big things lined up. I'm thinking of doing a Super Bowl extravaganza. I got,
Oh, boy.
you know, you got a lot of things in the pipeline here. I'm not at liberty to discuss them right now, but it should be good.
Your executive producer is working hard.
Yes, he just was on the hotline with me a few minutes ago talking about a festival in July that we're discussing, and you know, a lot of good things. So is there anything else that we didn't discuss about Jethro Tull
Wait, no.
while we're here?
What happened to one of his members? Didn't one of his members have
Oh,
sex
the best
change?
story
How did
of
you
them
miss
all.
that?
Oh, my
How did you
God.
possibly miss that whole story?
That the keyboard player in his band, David Palmer, he came in about Heavy Horses time.
Yep, but
so
yeah, it was
that was
later on.
probably the problem. This is why Jethro Tull went downhill. But his band, the keyboard player, David Palmer, he ended up having a sex change later on. And now, I don't know his new name. Oh, it's actually Mike DeGennaro.
That's right.
See, and it all brings it together. That's why Mike is getting the bikini wax today,
That's
because
right.
he's heading over next week for this full sex change.
That's
So
right.
he's been on hormone therapy. That's why he's been all moody and stuff
Right.
at work.
It doesn't want to do things and stuff.
But yeah, that brings it all together.
Yep, there you go.
So, have you ever been to a Renaissance fair? Speaking of
No.
that,
No. Or what is it called? Loping? What's it called when you like dress up and like try to kill each other with swords and stuff like that? Have you ever seen it?
no.
It's called like something, like loping or something like that, where they like you dress up into garb and then you just run around and you just, you know, fight each other. You gotta watch
like the-
Ridiculousness. It happens on Ridiculousness a couple of times.
See, that show is better than mine.
That show's
Ridiculous.
awesome.
I love that show. That's kind of similar, you know. These are the kinds of shows that I modeled this show after. I modeled after Live from Daryl's House, right? And kind of a little bit like Ridiculousness. And what else? What other music shows? Pretty much Live from Daryl's House I got my main inspiration from. But I took it a step further. He has no comedy on his show at all. He seems like a very intense man, and he's not funny. But I try to make the show a little more lighthearted and have the record review on here, plus the live music sometimes. So next week I think we'll have some live music again. And I offered Dan, since I said I know how to play Aqualung on the guitar, if you wanted to sing, but he turned that down.
Turn that down flat, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen.
Listen to that flute. That's
right, man.
That's a perfect
I
way to go
told you, there's
out.
some kid sitting there at, you know, high school, doesn't know what to do. There's Jethro Tull. There's life after high school if you learn to play the flute.
Yeah.
Well, other than getting your butt kicked every day.
There we go. Now, yeah, we can hear this. We got the dust off the needle. See, that's
right.
the you know, got to take the good with the bad with vinyl. You get
that
this
happens.
whole artwork and all
The
this
artwork
stuff
is the best.
and this thing, and inside you can do a lot of things in here. If anyone knows where I'm going with that, it's very useful. As opposed to MP3, you can't do anything.
You can't do anything.
But look at this. I love this. This is Hymn 43.
Hymn 43.
Yes, this is another great song. So, well, that's our time's up, Dan. So, thank you for coming on.
Anytime.
And I think
Jethro Tull.
You'll be seeing my band tonight. You coming
Yes,
out?
I am.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're going to be playing.
That's gonna be fun.
And Mike might show up too, or Michelle.
Michelle.
Depends who comes tonight. We're not
Yeah.
sure. So, all right. Thank you.
Later.
Jethro Tull. Go buy this album. Awesome.
But not the MP3.
Later.